Have you ever felt awkward or nervous when it comes to introducing yourself in English? Let's fix that today. In this lesson, you'll learn advanced words and phrases so you can confidently introduce yourself in any situation. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. Let's look at a very basic way to introduce yourself that you may know. You can say, "Hi, my name is Anna. I'm from Brazil. I'm an accountant. Nice to meet you." This is a standard introduction that native speakers use, and there's nothing wrong with it. But let's make this more advanced, more professional, and more natural. First, let's review some advanced conversation starters you can use before you say, "My name is Jennifer." You can say, "Hi, I don't think we've met. And then your name. I'm Jennifer." So this is how you can just approach someone and start talking.
Hi, I don't think we've met. I'm Tom.
Or you can say, "Hi there." Adding there to hi makes it sound more friendly, more casual. "Hi there, I don't think we've been introduced yet. I'm Jennifer."
Hi, I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Terry Schuster, Will's pregnant wife.
Or, "Hi, I don't think we've had the chance to meet yet. I'm Jennifer." They're all different ways of saying the exact same thing, but all are commonly used by natives. You can also simply say, "Hi, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Jennifer." So that's the reason why you're saying hello to this person. You wanted to introduce yourself. Or you can simply make a general comment and say something like, "What a great event. I'm Jennifer. By the way, by the way." Adding "by the way" after sounds casual, it sounds friendly. Now, notice in all of these, I said, "I'm Jennifer." You can absolutely say, "My name's Jennifer." Notice that contraction. My name is, my name's Jennifer. Don't worry about taking these notes because I summarize everything in a free lesson PDF. You can find the link in the description. Now let's review some advanced and natural ways you can share your name preferences. So you've introduced yourself. "Hi, I'm Jennifer. My name's Jennifer, but I go by Jen." So notice this "but," that just helps connect the two. But I go by. So to go by, and then the name, in this case Jen, suggests that's what I want you to call me. So again, "Hi, I'm Jennifer, but you can call me Jen." So instead of "to go by," you can say, "You can call me Jen." They're the same. Or how about this one? Very casual. "Hi, I'm Jennifer, but everyone calls me Jen." So this is an indirect way of you inviting the person to also call you Jen.
But everyone calls me Tom.
Or you can say, "My name's Jen." So you introduce yourself as the short form. "My name's Jen. Actually, my full name is Jennifer, but I go by Jen." So that's an option as well if you just want to introduce yourself with the short form. Now let's say I walk up to you and say, "Hi, my name's Jennifer." You might ask me, "Do you go by Jen?" So you want to know, should I call you Jennifer or Jen, because it's so common to call Jennifers Jen. Now, I could reply back and say, "Actually, I prefer Jennifer." So that's my way of letting you know how I want you to call me. And I included that because that happens to me a lot, but I do prefer Jennifer, so I often have to correct people when I'm meeting them for the first time. And remember, you can use this as a question form. So if I say, "My name's Jennifer," you can ask me, "What do you go by? What do you go by?" And then I'll say, "I prefer Jennifer," "I go by Jennifer," or "You can call me Jennifer." They all mean the same thing.
"I go by Travis."
Now let's review some phrases for talking about where you're from. Of course, you know I'm from, and then the place. I'm from Ottawa. You can say I'm originally from. I'm originally from Winnipeg, the name of a city, but I've been living in Ottawa, my current place, for a few years. And you can be more specific if you want. To be based in is commonly used in a business context, and then I've been living in is the general term. Now, you can also say I grew up in. I grew up in Winnipeg, previous place, but I've been living in Ottawa, my current place, since, and then a specific time, since 2010. Or you might say, I was born and raised here. So this means you've spent your entire life in the current location. I was born and raised here. Born and raised, born and raised. That's a great expression that native speakers use. Just notice it's to be born and raised in the past simple. I was born and raised here.
Yes, I was born and raised here, Joan.
Or maybe, actually, I've just moved here from, and then the place you just left, from Winnipeg. Or maybe you want to talk about where you're going next. I'm actually planning to relocate to Chicago soon. So Chicago is the new place, not the current place. Now notice I used to move. This is of course a general term for changing where you live. You can also use to relocate. Notice that pronunciation, relocate. This is more formal or professional, and it's used for moving, but in a business or official context. So it's often when your company requires you to move. So you share where you're from, and now you can offer some follow-up questions. Of course, you can simply say, and you, I'm from Ottawa, and you, or so, where are you from? So just makes it sound more friendly and casual. So, where are you from?
So where are you from?
Are you from here? What's your hometown like? So this is an open-ended question. You're inviting the person to give you more information. Do you like living here? Another open-ended question.
So how do you like living here?
Or a great question, what's your favorite thing about? And then whatever city, their previous city, their current city, their next city, any city. Now let's review some phrases for describing what you do. The standard is I'm an accountant. And because accountant starts with a vowel sound. I'm a manager, for example. So an, you must use an article before the job title. But what if you want to add more information? You can say, I've been working as an accountant for over 10 years, or whatever time reference. So notice the present perfect continuous. Or I'm an accountant specializing in something. Tax planning for large multinational corporations, for example. Or you can be more specific about the type of accountant or manager or IT person, developer you are, and say, I'm a forensic accountant. Now, most people, if they're not accountants, won't know what this is. So you might explain in simple terms what you actually do. I'm a forensic accountant, so basically I analyze financial records to find any signs of fraud or error. So you're letting the person know so they understand. You would use that if you're talking to a group of non-accountants. Or you can say, I worked as an accountant for most of my life. So notice worked is in the past simple, but I recently transitioned into marketing. So this is an advanced way of saying you just started a new career in marketing. Or you can say I was an accountant for over 10 years, but a few years ago I left accounting. I left my job as an accountant to pursue a career in, and then whatever you want, in journalism. Or I used to be used to be. I used to be an accountant, but I recently became certified as an English teacher, maybe. Now, do not say I'm unemployed, I'm jobless. That sounds very negative, and native speakers do not use those expressions. Native speakers say things like, I'm between jobs. I'm in a career transition. I'm exploring new opportunities. That is what you want to say. Now let's review some follow-up questions. So you say, I'm a forensic accountant specializing in, and then you explain what you do, and you, or so, what do you do? What do you do? That's how you ask someone about their work. So, what do you do? So, what kind of work do you do? Just an alternative, but the first one is more common. So, what do you do? Or you could ask an open-ended question and say, how did you get started in that field, in that line of work? What do you enjoy most about your job? What's a typical day like for you? So these are open-ended questions. Now let's review some phrases for explaining why you're there. And you can use these for events, meetups, conferences, classes, workshops. You can say, I'm here with a few colleagues. Maybe you say a few marketing colleagues or accounting colleagues to learn about, and then something specific, the new products, the new technology. Or I'm here to learn and see what's new in the industry. I'm looking to meet. Notice, I'm looking to do something. This is a casual way of saying I want to, but it sounds more natural, more social. I'm looking to meet others in the same field. So the field represents the area of work, accounting. Or I'm hoping to connect. I'm hoping to do something. I'm hoping to connect with other accountants, or maybe with other potential clients. Or maybe you're actively involved in the event or the presentation, the workshop, and you say, I'm presenting later. That's why you're here. I'm one of the presenters or one of the organizers.
I'm a presenter at one of these award shows.
And then you want to direct it to the other person you're talking to, so you can always say, and you? And what about you? So what brings you here? This is the native way of saying, why are you here? Which sounds very direct. So what brings you here? Or you could ask, have you attended this event before? If it's a regular event. Or an open-ended question, what are you hoping to get out of today? This means, what are you hoping to achieve? What are you hoping to get out of today? And today represents this event. What are you hoping to get out of this public speaking workshop? Now, when you're talking to someone, it's very important to show that you're actively listening to that person. So let's review some phrases for reacting and responding naturally. These are to show you're interested and engaged. So as the person is telling you about their hometown or what it's like to be a forensic accountant, you can say, oh, that's really interesting. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Oh, really? No way. I had no idea. I had no idea forensic accounting was so interesting, or forensic accountants did this, whatever it might be.
Oh, wow.
Or if they're telling you about their day-to-day job, you can say, that must keep you busy. Or, sounds like you're passionate about it. Sounds like you're passionate about forensic accounting. What's that like? What's that like? So that can always be a general follow-up question. Or as they're making an opinion or sharing a perspective, you can say, that's a great point. That's a great point. Or, I'd love to hear more about it. I'd love to hear more about your day-to-day as a forensic accountant. So you're inviting them to continue talking. Now, when you're introducing yourself to someone or talking to someone new in your native language or a foreign language, there are always awkward moments. So let's review some phrases for handling uncertainty, you don't know what to say, or awkward moments. So maybe if you forget important information, you don't know what to say, or there's a lull. A lull is that awkward silence where nobody is saying anything. That's a lull. So you can just be honest and say, sorry, I don't remember your name. I use this a lot. I feel like honesty is the best policy, especially when you just met someone. It's okay if you forget their name. Just let them know. Sorry, I don't remember your name. Or you can use this one. Can you remind me? And then what your name is, or can you remind me what you do again? So you're talking to that person, they're telling you about their day, but you're like, what does this person do? You've met so many other people. Can you remind me? That's a great phrase. Or how about this? They ask you about your opinion or perspective. You don't know what to say? Just be honest. I'm not sure about that. But then change the topic or else there'll be an awkward silence. I'm not sure about that. Have you tried the food yet? It's delicious. So you can just change the topic. Or if you're talking and then you just stop, you don't know what to say next, you can say, I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, what did you think about the presentation? So admit that you don't know what to say, I just lost my train of thought, and then transition to a different topic using anyway. Now, if you feel like you've been talking a lot, they asked you one simple question and 5 minutes later you're still talking, you might stop when you realize this and say, anyway, enough about me, what do you do? Or what's your hometown like? Or what's your field like? So you stop your conversation and ask them a question. And if there's an awkward silence in the conversation, just say, so, do you have any plans for the summer? No matter what context you're in, people are happy to talk about their plans. And of course, it can be any season or time reference.
So, any plans for the summer?
And you can always talk about the weather and make a simple statement like, can you believe how hot this summer has been? And then you'll start talking about the weather and the conversation will naturally continue. Now let's review some phrases for ending the conversation. You're at a party or at an event and there are a lot of other people and you don't want to talk to the forensic accountant anymore. So how do you say you don't want to talk to them? You can't just say, okay, bye, and walk away. That's awkward. So you can use these phrases. It's been great chatting with you. Chatting with you is the informal way of saying talking to you. It's been great chatting with you. I'm going to introduce myself to some other people. Enjoy the party. And then you walk away. You leave. Or you wait for them to say, yeah, it was nice talking with you, enjoy the night, and you exchange a pleasantry, but you leave. Or you can say, I'm so glad we got a chance to chat. Again, chat is a casual way of saying talk. I'm so glad we got a chance to chat. I see some other people I need to talk to. Enjoy the rest of the event. And then you leave. Or this one I love using, you simply say, I'm going to circulate a bit. So to circulate a bit, circulate, but imagine it's you. So you're going to just go around the room and move around. I'm going to circulate a bit. It's been so nice meeting you, and I'm sure we'll chat again before the night's over or before the workshop is over, whatever the event is. I like using that one. You can also say, I really enjoyed our conversation. I'm going to get some food. So this is a great excuse of why you want to stop talking to the person. I'm going to get some food, but I'm sure we'll see each other again. Take care, or some pleasantry, and then you leave. So now you are ready to introduce yourself and have an amazing conversation in any situation. Do you want me to keep helping you learn natural phrases? If you do, put let's go, put let's go in the comments. And of course, course, make sure you like this lesson, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And here's another lesson I know you'll love. Watch it now.